Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asian NEWSLINE and here the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 3rd of January. Jaishankar calls Maldives concrete expression of India's neighbourhood first policy. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar urges India to mend ties. And Bangladesh revises textbooks, credits Ziaur Rahman with Independence Declaration. And now for all the details. Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar on Friday met his Maldives counterpart Dr. Abdullah Khalil and emphasized on the strong bilateral ties between both the countries. Jaishankar during his opening remarks noted key developments such as the signing of a framework to facilitate local currency use for cross-border transactions and increased collaboration across various sectors. Jaishankar further reaffirmed India's commitment to the Maldives and described the country as a concrete expression of India's neighbourhood first policy. Notably, Khalil arrived in Delhi on Thursday on a 3-day official visit to India. This is his first official visit to India. Recently, the ties between the two countries have started flourishing again after Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu's first bilateral visit to India in October last year. India's Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday attributed the now defunct Article 370 to sowing the seeds of separatism among Kashmiri youth, which he said eventually escalated into terrorism, claiming thousands of lives in the region. Addressing an event in New Delhi, Shah pointed out that while India has several Muslim-majority areas, terrorism did not spread to those regions, nor to states like Gujarat and Rajasthan, which like Kashmir share a border with Pakistan. Shah argued that Article 370 fostered the misconception that the relationship between India and Jammu and Kashmir was temporary. He stated that the provision not only stalled development in the region but also allowed terrorism to thrive. Shah emphasized that the Indian government's resolute decision to abrogate Article 370 marked the beginning of Kashmir's integration into the country's developmental trajectory. After the abrogation of Article 370, terrorism has been reduced by 70%. We not only control terrorism but also dismantle the terror ecosystem in the valley, Shah remarked. Article 370 along with Article 35A had granted special status to the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, providing it with a degree of autonomy and exclusive privileges. In August 2019, the Indian government revoked these provisions, effectively ending Jammu Kashmir's special status and bifurcating it into two union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh.
धारा 370 ने ही घाटी के युवाओं के मन में अलगाववाद का बीज बोने का प्रयास किया। मुस्लिम आबादी देश के कई हिस्सों में है। किसी भी स्थान पर क्यों आतंकवाद नहीं आया? फिर एक दलील देते हैं पाकिस्तान से सटा हुआ है, गुजरात भी पाकिस्तान से सटा हुआ है, राजस्थान भी पाकिस्तान से सटा हुआ है। क्यों वहां आतंकवाद नहीं आया? धारा 370 ने भारत और कश्मीर का जुड़ाव टेम्पररी है, ऐसा एक भ्रांति फैलाने का काम किया जिसने अलगाववाद के बीज बोए।
Moving on. Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar on Thursday urged India to take steps to improve bilateral ties, according to a report by Dawn News. Responding to a query about the strained relations between Islamabad and New Delhi, Dar, while addressing a press conference on Pakistan's diplomatic efforts, remarked, "It takes two to tango, it cannot be one-sided." He further called on India to create an environment conducive to fostering improved relations between the two nations. Relations between India and Pakistan have been severely strained since 2019 when India conducted airstrikes on terror hideouts in Pakistan's Balakot region following a terror attack in Pulwama that claimed the lives of 40 Indian paramilitary personnel. The incident brought the two nuclear-armed neighbours to the brink of war. Tensions escalated further when both countries recalled their ambassadors after India revoked the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. New Delhi has maintained that while it desires normal, neighbourly relations with Pakistan, the responsibility lies with Islamabad to create an environment free of terrorism and hostility for meaningful dialogue to take place.
जहां तक इंडिया है, इट टेक्स टू टू टैंगो। आई थिंक ये वन वे नहीं हो सकता कि हम तो सब कुछ कर दें। तो अगर गुडविल उधर से होगी और हम भी तैयार हैं, लेकिन इट हैज टू बी बोथ साइड्स।
Meanwhile, amid requesting money claims by Pakistan, Taliban on Thursday denied the accusations and said the Islamic Emirate has made no such request from Islamabad. This comes as Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif in an interview claimed that the Taliban had requested 10 billion Pakistani rupees to remove TTP from the areas near the Durand line. Taliban's deputy spokesperson Hamidullah Fitrat further emphasized that Pakistan is not in an economic position to fulfill such requests even if they were real, and called it unfortunate that high-ranking Pakistani officials resort to such baseless allegations. Pakistan's airstrikes on Afghanistan and the ongoing clashes has strained the ties between the two countries. Pakistan, which initially backed the Taliban when they took control of Afghanistan 3 years ago, now sees its support as a grave error. Earlier, Pakistan accused Taliban of harboring and supporting the TTP and being involved in Pakistan's insecurity allegations that Kabul has denied. The World Food Programme has announced that due to lack of funding, it can only provide aid of 7 million out of the 14 million hungry people in Afghanistan. The WFP said that many families in remote areas of Afghanistan will need food assistance to survive the cold season. The WFP clarified that to support those in need in these remote regions, it has already sent essential food supplies to some villages months in advance. WFP stated that it will be impossible for some families in these areas to survive the winter without the food aid provided by the organization. As Afghanistan faces deepening food insecurity, the international community's support is becoming more crucial. The WFP's call for financial help underscores the dire need for global collaboration to prevent further human suffering in the country. Without additional aid, the humanitarian situation could worsen, with the ongoing winter exacerbating the challenges faced by millions. Moving on. In a significant development following the removal of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina from office, Bangladeshi authorities are preparing to introduce new textbooks that claim Zia Rahman, the late husband of Bangladesh Nationalist Party leader and Hasina's political rival Khalida Zia, declared the country's independence in 1971, the Daily Star has reported. According to the report, the current textbooks credit Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Hasina's father and widely regarded as the architect of Bangladesh's independence, with making the declaration. However, the new textbooks attribute the declaration of Zia Rahman, stating that he proclaimed the nation's independence and issued another declaration on behalf of Mujibur Rahman on March 27, 1971. This move is reminiscent of similar changes introduced during Khalida Zia's tenure as Prime Minister from 2001 to 2006, which were later reversed when Hasina returned to power. Notably, the new textbooks have also omitted the title Father of the Nation for Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. An official involved in the revision process stated that the aim was to free the textbooks from exaggerated and imposed history. Since Hasina's ouster, there has been a concreted effort to diminish the legacy of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who has long been venerated as Bang Bandhu. During recent protests, murals and statues associated with Mujib were vandalized. Furthermore, the interim government led by Muhammad Yunus has reportedly decided to remove Mujib's image from currency notes in the coming days. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.